What if I told you that your entire life could change, not by luck, not by chance, but by the way you choose to show up in the world starting today? What if I told you that no matter what's happened to you, what's happening around you, or what you're afraid might happen next, there's a version of you that already has the life you dream of, and all you have to do is start acting like it's already yours. I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm here to tell you the truth. The most powerful shift you can ever make is this: act as if everything always works out for you. Not because you're pretending, not because you're naive, but because when you live from that place of certainty, that energy changes your results, your mindset, your entire life trajectory. So if you've ever felt stuck, unsure, or like life keeps throwing curveballs you can't control, stay with me. Because by the end of this talk, you're going to have the tools, the clarity, and the inner fire to walk out of here believing and living as if life is rigged in your favor. Because maybe, just maybe, it always has been. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the same exact situation and come out with completely different outcomes? One person gets crushed, the other gets stronger. One sees a wall, the other sees a way through. You know why that happens? It's not luck, it's not genetics, it's belief. Your belief system is the steering wheel of your life. It doesn't matter how powerful your engine is. If the wheel is turned in the wrong direction, you're going off track. When you start acting as if everything always works out for you, you begin turning that wheel toward the life you actually want to live. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing to believe that life is always working for you, not against you. That even when it doesn't look like it, even when it hurts, even when it's confusing or chaotic, there's something bigger going on. Something for your growth. Something setting you up, not setting you back. Your brain is a search engine. It filters the world based on what you believe is true. If you believe that nothing ever works out, you'll constantly find proof to confirm that. You'll notice the delays, the disappointments, the rejections. But if you believe that everything always works out for you, even the delays, even the detours, you start seeing the lesson, the timing, the setup inside the setback. That belief becomes your lens. And once you change the lens, the entire picture changes. You walk differently. You speak with more certainty. You make decisions faster. You stop needing guarantees before you move. Because deep down, you trust that it's going to turn out in your favor, even if it doesn't look like it at first. And guess what? That belief, when it's embodied, when it's lived, starts to create real momentum, because when you show up like a person who knows it's going to work out, you radiate confidence. You move with faith instead of fear. You attract people, opportunities, and outcomes that match that frequency. But it starts with the decision to believe, not after life gets easier, not after the money comes in, not after the relationship works. Right now, before the evidence, before the outcome, that's where your power is. You don't need the world to change. You need your belief about the world to change. And when that happens, the world does change. So if you've been waiting for permission to start believing in your future, I'm giving it to you right now. Believe it. Own it. Act like everything always works out for you, because the moment you do, it starts to, you want to change your life? Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the confidence, the clarity, the green light. Stop waiting to be the version of yourself that already has everything figured out, because here's the truth. You don't become that person by thinking about it. You become that person by acting like them now. Identity is everything. It drives your behavior. It shapes your standards. It decides what you tolerate and what you no longer accept. And the fastest way to change your life is to upgrade your identity, to start showing up as the person who already has what you want. You want more success? Act like someone who knows how to create success. You want more love? Act like someone who is already worthy of it. You want to feel like your life is moving in the right direction? Then stop moving like someone who's lost. Listen, this isn't about faking it. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about stepping into a deeper truth that's already inside of you. You were born with the power to create, to rise, to lead, to love fully. But most people bury that power under fear, under doubt, under years of conditioning. They say things like, well, that's just not who I am. And I say, who told you that? Who convinced you to build an identity based on your past instead of your potential? The difference between who you are and who you could be is the story you keep telling yourself. And the second you change that story, your actions shift. Your standards rise. You start choosing differently, speaking differently, moving differently, not because life gave you a reason to, but because you gave yourself a new identity to live into. And when you act as if everything always works out for you, you naturally become that version of you who isn't shaken by the little stuff. You carry yourself like someone who expects life to support them. You walk into rooms with certainty. You attract people who align with that frequency. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're no longer playing small. You're no longer trying to fit into the version of life that was handed to you. You're stepping into the version you're meant to live. Here's the magic. When you act like the kind of person life works out for, life starts working out for you. You stop hesitating, you stop apologizing for dreaming big, you stop needing external validation to take your next step, and that confidence, it compounds. Every day you show up like that, the gap between who you are and who you want to be gets smaller, until one day, they're the same person. So don't just wait for it to happen, don't just hope your life will shift, become the person it happens for. You ever notice how some people walk into a room and instantly shift the energy? No words, no announcements, they just bring something. You can feel it. That's not luck. That's not charisma they were born with. That's energy. And it's a choice. Your energy is your message before you ever speak a word. It's what people respond to, what the world mirrors back to you, and what determines how you experience every moment of your life. And the powerful thing is, you control it. But most people live in reaction. They wake up tired, check their phone, scroll through chaos, start their day already in defense. They don't manage their energy, they get managed by it. You want to change your results, you've got to shift your energy on purpose. Not once, not when things are going well, every single day. That starts with your body. You cannot think your way into a new life while sitting slouched over, breathing shallow, and dragging your feet. Your physiology is your first language. When you move with purpose, when you breathe deeply, when you stand like someone who owns the room, you send signals to your brain that say, I've got this, I'm ready, this is mine. And that shift in state, it changes everything. Your confidence rises, your focus sharpens, your creativity wakes up. Suddenly you're not waiting to feel inspired, you've become the inspiration. That's the power of energy. But let's go deeper, because energy isn't just physical. It's emotional, it's spiritual. It's about choosing to live in a peak state even when the world around you gives you every reason not to. It's about deciding that your joy, your peace, your passion isn't negotiable. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you start carrying energy that says, I'm not here to survive, I'm here to create. You walk into situations with calm authority. You stop chasing and start attracting. And people feel that. Life responds to that. See, most people think they need a perfect plan. What they really need is to raise their energy. Because once your energy shifts, your actions follow. Your decisions get bolder. You stop second guessing. You stop playing small. And you start aligning with the kind of outcomes that only happen when you're vibrating at a higher frequency. I'm telling you, your energy is your advantage. It's not something you find, it's something you generate. You create it through your habits, your thoughts, your movement, your standards. You can shift it in a moment, right now, if you choose to. So stop waiting for the world to energize you. Bring your own power, charge the room, be the spark that ignites everything around you. Because when you own your energy, you own your life. Let's talk about problems, because most people are running from them like they're some kind of sign that life isn't working. But what if that's not true? What if the problem you're facing right now isn't blocking your path, but building it? See, when you act as if everything always works out for you, you stop seeing problems as personal attacks. You stop treating them like punishment. Instead, you start recognizing them as part of the process. You start saying, this isn't happening to break me. It's happening to build me. Life isn't about everything going smoothly. It's about becoming the kind of person who stays grounded and focused even when it doesn't. That's real strength. That's real leadership. That's power. And listen, I'm not talking about ignoring reality or pretending everything's fine when it's not. I'm talking about developing the mindset that no matter what shows up, you trust that you'll figure it out. You trust that even when things go sideways, you'll grow through it, rise from it, and use it. Think about it. How many times in your life did something not go the way you wanted, and looking back, you realize it was actually setting you up for something better? A door closed and a better one opened. A plan failed and it led you to a breakthrough you never saw coming. That's not coincidence. That's life recalibrating in your favor, but you've got to have the awareness to see it. And you only get that awareness when you stop reacting and start responding. When you stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That shift right there, that's the game changer. Because the moment you see the problem as guidance, not punishment, you take back your power. Most people get stuck because they believe that the presence of a problem means they've failed. But problems aren't proof you're off track. Often, they're proof you're on track, just stretching, just leveling up, just being refined. When you start acting as if everything always works out for you, you stop needing certainty in your circumstances and start finding it within yourself. That's when you move through life differently. You stop panicking when things get uncomfortable. You stop shrinking when things don't go to plan. You trust the process, you lean into the moment, and that trust, it makes you unshakable. Because the truth is, no one gets a life without problems. But not everyone learns how to use them. Not everyone grows from them. Not everyone decides that this problem is here to serve them. So next time something shows up that looks like a setback, I want you to pause, breathe, and remind yourself of this. Even this, is working out for me gratitude? Let's go there. Because this is one of the most misunderstood, underestimated forces in life. Most people treat gratitude like something they use when things are going well. They say thank you after the blessing shows up. They express appreciation once the outcome is clear, once it's safe to celebrate. But if you only practice gratitude after life gives you what you want, you're missing the real power of it. The game changes when you start giving thanks before it shows up. That's where the shift happens. That's where the energy flips. That's when you start aligning with a version of life that's already working for you, because your mindset is already living in the outcome. But when you act as if everything always works out for you, you naturally begin to feel grateful, not just for what has worked, but for what is about to. That's a completely different level of gratitude. That's not passive. That's not polite. That's powerful. That's creative gratitude. You're no longer just reacting to life. You're co-creating it. You're saying, I might not see it yet, but I already know it's coming. I might not have the evidence right now, but I trust the outcome. I'm thankful in advance. And that energy, that trust, that's what opens doors. Because when you're grateful for something before it arrives, you condition your nervous system to believe it's already yours. You speak different. You move different. You think bigger. You stop acting desperate and you start acting aligned. You stop focusing on what's missing and you start focusing on what's inevitable. You want to attract more good into your life? Stop obsessing over what you lack and start appreciating what's coming. Not in some wishy-washy, fake it till you make it kind of way. I'm talking about deep, grounded certainty. I'm talking about waking up and saying thank you before the breakthrough, before the solution, before the win. That's not fantasy. That's faith. That's how you stretch your mindset. That's how you signal to life, to God, to the universe that you're ready, that you trust, that you're open, that you're in sync. Most people don't understand this because they've been conditioned to wait for the result, wait for the proof, wait for the validation. But the people who live powerful lives, they don't wait. They lead with gratitude. They thank the outcome before it arrives. They bless the process while they're still in the middle of the chaos. Because they know gratitude isn't just a reaction, it's a frequency. It's a magnet. It's a declaration that says, I believe good things are coming and I refuse to live any other way. So if you want to act as if everything always works out for you, don't just look for blessings, expect them and give thanks like they're already on the way. That's how you unlock the flow. Everyone wants the breakthrough. Everyone wants the shift. But what separates the people who actually change their lives from the ones who just talk about it, one word, consistency. It's not about doing something once. It's not about having a good day here and there. It's about who you choose to be over and over and over again, especially when no one's watching, especially when it's not convenient, especially when life tries to pull you back into the old story. Acting as if everything always works out for you is not a one-time mindset trick. It's a lifestyle. It's a standard. It's a practice. And if you want it to work for you, you've got to feed it daily because the world will test you. You'll have days where the old thoughts try to creep back in, days when the doubts get loud, when your past wants to define your future, when it feels like nothing's shifting. And in those moments, the question is simple. Will you choose the old identity or will you recommit to the new one? See, consistency isn't just about repetition. It's about alignment. It's about becoming so rooted in this belief that life is working for you, that you're being guided, that your path is unfolding perfectly, that it becomes your baseline, not your peak, your default. And every time you show up with that mindset, every time you lean in instead of backing down, you build evidence, you build momentum, you strengthen the foundation. Suddenly, it's not just something you do, it's who you are. You speak that way. You make decisions from that place. You treat setbacks like speed bumps instead of stop signs. You move with grace, with courage, with the kind of faith that bends reality in your favor. But here's the truth. You won't feel like it every day. That's normal. There will be mornings when you wake up tired, days when your emotions try to pull you off track, moments when you forget the power you carry. That's why it has to be a practice. You don't wait to feel ready. You train for this. You build the muscle. You set the tone. You wake up and decide today, again, I will act as if everything is working for me, even if I can't see it, even if I don't feel it, even if there's no proof yet. That's what rewires your nervous system. That's what expands your capacity. That's what separates the ones who break through from the ones who stay stuck in patterns. Success isn't about intensity once in a while. It's about consistency all the time. And when you stack those days, one after another, something incredible happens. Your belief hardens, your identity upgrades, and your life catches up to the standard you set. So make it a daily decision, a daily declaration, a daily discipline. Because the more consistently you act like everything always works out for you, the more it actually will.